All right, traders, a very warm welcome to the episode 4 of TFA Talks. So, we in this segment we talk about what is the view for Nifty and Bank Nifty going forward. At the same time, what are the stocks that we can trade tomorrow, which is the October 13th. It is an important day because we have, I suppose, we have the moratorium verdict to be out tomorrow by the Supreme Court. I'm not sure if the matter will be further adjourned, but a lot of adjournments have already been granted. So tomorrow will be an important day. The inflation data was out today. It was not good. It was the 8-month high, and even the IIP data was not very satisfactory. So also, if you look at the FII and DII data, it was on the bearish side today. So the data, the fundamentals, if you talk about the trading today, they have not been very satisfactory. So tomorrow, my main idea will be to be on the sell side, much more than to be on the buying side. So let me explain what happened in the markets today and what can you plan in the markets tomorrow. So first, let's have a look at Nifty. I'm looking at the charts of Nifty on the daily time frame. So you can see we have got something like a spinning top doji on the top of this rally. So you have to understand, in the previous episodes we kept on saying that market in a single shot, can't keep on going higher. It has to halt or it has to correct. So we have seen some kind of indecision candle which is stopping the rally. So whether this rally is going to move into a time correction, a consolidation, or are we going into a price correction, which is a dip in the market, is something we'll find out in the sessions to come. But this is a sign which will give a warning signal to the bulls, which are very strong in the market, because we have to understand, every person who started buying at this point of time, when the markets fell on the 18th of September till 10,800, and we got a green candle then. So people who had bought right here, their stop loss logically would have been somewhere around 10,760 to 750, which is below the lows. So when markets kept on going higher, they kept on trailing the SL. So when you were around here, the stop loss became somewhere here. When you came to this candle, the stop loss trailed to this candle. So what I'm trying to say is, the higher these people, the higher the market kept on going, the buyers kept on trailing the SL, and FI has also pumped a lot of money into the markets in the last couple of days. So when a red candle comes into the market, this is a signal where the buyers, they get cautious, and this is one signal where buyers, they would like to book their positions. So tomorrow, let's say we get a gap down, this can really create a panic in the market, and a lot of people who have bought, they will like to either book their position at cost to cost, or they would like to get some profit, because selling always happens very very fast and the buying happens quite quick. We all know that. So when markets have to go down, they can go down in one single shot, but when the markets have to go higher, it will take a lot of time to go higher. So due to that, when you see a red candle, people will start to panic. So keeping that in mind, so what can we expect tomorrow? So as I said, we have seen a spinning top doji. Looking at the markets today, let's look at the internals of Nifty for today. Internals clearly showed a volatile trade today. We opened higher but could not sustain the 12,000. It's a logical, psychological round number. So it was not possible to break this big number in one single shot. So we did test, went up a little higher, but then started falling down. And around 1 o'clock or 11:30, when the finance minister started to give their announcements regarding the stimulus, regarding boosting of the consumption and capital expenditure, markets did not take it in positive note. The announcements did not impress the market. The leave travel concession, the advances, and the advancing money to the states for capital expenditure was not taken very positively, and we saw a very good fall in the markets from 11,960 all the way in 2 to 3 candles all the way to 11,868, which was somewhere around the pivot for the day. And what happened here was very astonishing. Markets, I think, due to the power outage in Mumbai, markets went silent for about 5 minutes. So there was no trading, I believe, for 5 minutes. And this something happened here. All websites, NSE, money control, trading view, everything was not working. And after that, we got some kind of pullback in the market, which eventually made the markets close around the resistance one for the day. Same was the case in Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty today has fallen down about 500 points from the day high, going to the pivot, but again closing on the lower side towards the pivot. So today, Bank Nifty, the private banks were actually a little bit weaker than the other sectors. Uh, as we have been seeing in the past couple of sessions, IT has been explosive. And if you look at the daily charts of IT has been doing so well. It's a single shot rally. Even the American IT stocks, the Nasdaq 100, you can see is up 1.5% as I speak. So the IT sector all over the world has been booming. And the stocks which are in my focus, which I had mentioned and recommended to our mentorship clients today, was Larsen and Toubro Infotech. This went up 20% intraday, hit upper circuit, but eventually closed a little bit lower. So the question is, can you buy LTI tomorrow? Absolutely not. It's not a good buy at this level. You can try to buy if you come to retest this level, which is the 2800. So if you get LTI in the next couple of sessions around 2800, you have to try to put it up in your portfolio for the long term positions. That's a must buy going forward. So let's talk about Nifty, Bank Nifty now. Obviously, tomorrow is also going to be a volatile trade because of the moratorium issue by the Supreme Court. If the verdict, I believe, is going to be out tomorrow, it will be a volatile trade. So you have to be expected for the increase in volatility. Today, also the India VIX, which is the volatility index, which tells us how much volatility can we expect in the next 30 days, went up about 8% intraday, which led to increased volatility and swings in the intraday session. So tomorrow, if you're trading, I would say try to reduce the quantity because we really don't know which way markets are going to go tomorrow due to the verdict. Anything can happen. We don't have to predict. We'll play by our levels, which I'll give you today. But as I speak, SGX Nifty, the Nifty futures are around 970, so about marginally 30 points higher. So it doesn't really matter what they're showing because tomorrow morning at 7:30 they can show an exactly different picture. But it's my duty to show you what's happening in the market. So even the FTSE 100 is trading flat, not a lot of movement on the FTSE. We can see that the FTSE is taking a lot of resistance from this trend line. So for the global markets to go higher, FTSE will have to cross the 6050 levels, close above that, which can give a boost in the European side of the markets. Germany DAX has been around resistance, I would say. It has crossed the 13,000 level, but it is trading around the crucial resistance of 13,250, 13,300. So in order to go higher, you have to cross this level for a good positive sentiment in the global markets. S&P is up 1%, Dow is above 100 points, so not a lot of movement right there. So talking about Nifty, what are the levels for Nifty tomorrow and how can we trade Nifty tomorrow? So because of this halt candle, I will be on the shorting side tomorrow. But looking at the internals, one thing you have to understand before I go to the internals is that when did the breakout happen? The breakout happened at 11,800. This was particularly a level which I really didn't think would be crossed in one single shot. But the buying was so much that you cross this in one single shot. So whenever a breakout happens, we all know the basic technicals 101 is the resistance early has to become support. So I would be a little bit on the bearish side till you reach around the 11,800 mark. So it is possible that you can get tomorrow or day after a 11,800 level on Nifty because a breakout has to be retested. So you can't just blindly buy at this point of time. You will have to wait for some kind of green candle. So maybe a bullish engulfing, a hammer, bullish arami, or any doji. So some indecision at this point can then again fuel up a rally. So unless until that happens, we can see a movement down to the 11,800 level to basically fulfill a retest of the breakout. That is a big possibility. Looking at the internals of Nifty now, I let's talk about that. Obviously, the crucial level would come to the 11,870 mark. I feel this is a very crucial level. So, if the markets have to go down tomorrow, it will obviously depend where the market is going to open. So, if you open flat or if you open gap down, I think the momentum is going to continue. Obviously, if you open gap down, that is going to bring your sellers very close to this support. Excuse me. So you have to understand if the markets have to go down, they will try to go down in the very first, the first half of the session. So market generally tells you what it wants to do in the first hour of the session. So if the markets have to go down, they will not try to go higher first and then go down because bringing the market down from a 12,000 level is not going to be difficult. So if the sellers are more focused on the downside tomorrow, they will be doing that in the very first hour or I would say the 2 hours of the session because you are much closer to the support. So aggressive selling, I would say, would come below 11,870 or 860. Below these levels, we can see an aggressive selling in the market. So you can plan accordingly. At the same time, if you are going to cross a 12,000 level tomorrow, it will negate this view, and you can get a good fresh leg of buying in the market tomorrow. But at the same time, if the markets do reach an intraday high of 12,000, I would not like to go aggressive buy over there, because markets have been extended now. Technicals do suggest a overbought condition. So I will be more focused on the selling side. Otherwise, always not doing a trade is also a trade. We have to remember that. So if you sit out in the day, that's also a very good predicament of not trading. It's better than losing money in the market. So tomorrow I'll be interested, particularly if I am going below 11,860 to 870 on Nifty. It can give me a move towards 11,800. This will be a very good support for the markets. And if, let's say, we get a bad or poor verdict not favoring the banks, etc., tomorrow by the Supreme Court, we can also trigger a fresh selling below 11,800, which can lead to a very aggressive sell off, filling these gaps firstly around till 11,750, and we can go down further even to 11,000, the 600 levels. But that, to me, is quite far fetched for now. So what we have to focus is below 1170 we can go short, and below 11,800 I'll be maybe adding my positions, because we can see a good gap filling of 50 to 60 points in the market. So that is basically what I plan to do for Nifty tomorrow. So if markets do oblige me, my plan will be coming into action. Talking about Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty was a little bit weaker as compared to Nifty today. Bank Nifty has closed about 134 points down, whereas Nifty has closed in green, surprisingly. So again, let's use the same logic on Bank Nifty as well. So the breakout in Bank Nifty happened around 23,200 levels. Let's take a round number. So this was the place where the breakout happened. You can also see a big gap on the screen, which led to the filling of the gaps when the markets broke out of this level. So again, we can expect a consolidation, maybe a sideways time correction, or we can expect a dip, basically fulfilling the retest function of the markets. And this would be a place where you can try to do aggressive buying or fresh longs. But right now is not a place where I would like to go buy. I really love my money, I value my money, so that's not a place where I want to go buy. So we should expect a movement. So if today's lows are broken, we will expect a movement towards 23,200. It's not quite far considering the movements we have been seeing in the markets today. So let's talk about the internals of Bank Nifty. What are they poised at? Um, so we can see a fresh leg of selling. So Bank Nifty kept on going down the entire day today. We were following this trend line. So it is quite bearish as of today. So tomorrow we can expect a fresh selling below, I would say, 23,570. This is a place where I can expect some kind of a good selling to start. So if the sellers want to bring down the markets, they will do that tomorrow itself in the first half of the market. They will not be waiting for the second half, getting the Bank Nifty up to 24K and getting the Bank Nifty down. So if the markets start to go higher, we get a gap up in the market, then obviously a view would get negated and we would have to wait for price action. So you have to understand, I'm giving these levels. So let's say tomorrow markets are giving a gap up and you open at around 23,900. In such a case, you have to look at price action. Maybe a flag pattern, a channel. So where are you breaking on the 15-minute side? So then the view depends upon price action. But if it's opening flat, or if it's opening a little bit on the gap downside, it can create some kind of panic in the market, and a fresh leg of selling would be coming below 23,570. It can get you down to a 23,450 level. That could be a one good target, a 150 point down, which can also, if you go below that level on a 15-minute mark, you can get a correction even down to 23,080, followed by 22,950. These are the levels which can come. Maybe they don't come tomorrow, but it might come if the levels are crossed on a 15-minute closing basis. So that's my view for Nifty and Nifty Bank going forward. So just to recap, let's plan on the selling side tomorrow. Buying's happened a lot. It's quite overstretched. So let's see where the markets unfold tomorrow. We can see maybe positive opening or a flat opening, but I will be only interested in the markets tomorrow if I go on the lower side. If there's any other important update, so for example, we get a very good announcement by the RBI, it's obvious that the banks and Nifty can go and rise up further, especially the private banks. They have a very high beta, which can make a movement in Nifty, Bank Nifty quite higher. So, in such a case, we will be giving new levels. So, I will be making a YouTube video during the market if something like that happens. So, stay tuned for that. All right, so that's it for Nifty and Bank Nifty. So we asked our mentorship clients to give us some stocks that they want us to give a commentary on. So if you have any doubts, you can leave us a comment in the comment section on our video, and we'll cover those stocks in the next video going forward in the TFA series. So the stocks that have come to us, let's start Deva with the chronological order. So Cipla is one stock that we've been concerned with. Let's look at the charts of Cipla. This is one stock which can give a good momentum tomorrow. So you can see that Cipla has trying to consolidate for quite some time around the 820, 815 to 820 level, and it has given some kind of inside candle. So Cipla can be expected to break out tomorrow, considering pharma and tech are safe spaces. So even if the markets go down, this sector can outperform tomorrow because people like to park their money in safe assets, safe stocks when things are bearish. So I would say a 15-minute closing above 820 can give you a good momentum on the upside, even on an intraday basis. But a positional entry can give you a good amount of profit considering the build-up has quite been significant. The next stock is ACC. So always trade in the markets only when the level comes. There's no point to trade just because you want to trade and make money in the markets. So again, it's somewhat of the same logic in ACC, right? So Mr. Vinil, ACC has given a good breakout above 1450. We've got a very good momentum. There are a couple of things you can expect from here. You can either expect a correction towards the 1450 level, which could make it an ideal buy. But looking at the current juncture, it might not be possible because we did get a shooting star and it was again converted into an inside candle. So tomorrow, if you are trying to go higher above for 1530, this can trigger a good fresh buying in the stock. So above 1530 can be a very good buying in the stock, but at the same time, I would say do a little bit less aggressive buying, considering that we have had a one hell of a run on ACC. I would be very interested in the stock when it goes down to 1450, and I'll be trying to buy ACC around 1450 levels. But looking at the internals, so 15-minute internals, right? So yeah, I would keep the view same. Let's look at a retest, or if you want to buy above 1530, go for an aggressive, less aggressive buy asset. Okay, so Mr. Shri, Tata Steel, he has recommended Tata Steel. So let's have a look at that. Looking at the daily charts of Tata Steel. So Tata Steel, you want it to be on the short side. All right. Tata Steel is not looking quite attractive to me. I mean, I don't see a lot of juice in Tata Steel right now. Not a lot of price action showing me what I want to do here. So I would like to avoid Tata Steel for now. So it doesn't look like a very good trade to me. We are seeing some kind of, I would say, consolidation here. So it would basically tell us where the markets are going to go. So below 362, we can expect a movement all the way to 340 also. At the same time, above 386 is a movement to the upside, maybe for targets of 400 also. So currently for me, it's a consolidation phase, not a lot of movement happening. We did get a positive news on Tata Steel on Sunday, but I have not seen a lot of impact in the stock. But it has traded at high volumes. ICICI. So yes, banks will be in focus considering the moratorium announcement tomorrow. So we have got a shooting star. So we have got a halt candle on most of the charts today. So we have got a shooting star. So whenever you get a doji kind of formation, it becomes quite important what to do. So if the upper end of the range is broken, it's a buy. At the same time, the lower end is broken, it's a sell. So I'll say below 400, it's a round number. You can try to go short, and you can aim for a good couple of points. Maybe for a target of 390, it will be possible. So below 400 you can go short, and above 410 you can go long for maybe targets of 420. In this range, you have to try to ignore and move on to different stocks. Let's move to Larsen and Toubro. Yeah, 1 second. So talking about Larsen and Toubro, uh, it had a good run earlier, but today again it has given some kind of a bearish candle, somewhat like a dark cloud, but not exactly. So if you want to go short again, you can go below these lows. I'm not really interested. 900 is a very good psychological level for Larsen and Toubro. I've traded in this stock for quite some time. Below 900 it tries to take a dip to 880. It's done that in the past quite a lot of times. So below 900, you can try to go short, but not in much quantity. I don't see a very good trade in Larsen and Toubro. You can try Sipla instead. I hope I answer your doubts, Shri. Okay, so I have Arnav talking about the IT sector, um, HCL Tech. So IT stocks are quite extended. So my view is obviously I want to be conservative. Now it's given one hell of a run, as I said. So if you are looking for buying IT stocks, then you have to reduce quantity because a pullback is likely. I don't know when it will come, but it is likely, and we should try to use that pullback to buy on the dips. For all IT stocks, basically, I only like to buy on dip. I'm not a person who would like to sell IT stocks because it's a very, very strong sector. But you want IT on the long side, that's perfect. So we have a lot of gaps in the market. You can see there's a very big gap on HCL Tech from 830 to 850. So I would say let the gap be filled first and then you can try to buy on the dip. Otherwise, let's say if the gap is not filled, if the IT sector doesn't go down tomorrow, what you can do is you can go long in some quantity above 880, which would translate to basically a 1.5% move. So above 1.5%, you can try to go long only above 880. So you can use a 15-minute closing to use that. But I would really like if these gaps were filled, you took a support here and then rebounded. That would make much more sense going forward. And if you kept on going higher, you are looking weak. And once you fall, you'll fall a lot. So if you want to go short, if you think about it, below 850 can be a good short because you'll fill the gap, and above 880 would be a good long, but reduce the quantity. I'll personally be buying at around 830 levels when the gap is retested. Tech Mahindra. So IT sectors are posting their earnings, so they will be in focus. So if you join our group TFA Daily, you will be updated with all the earnings that are coming out. So this week is for IT sector. I think Wipro's earnings have to be out today or tomorrow. I'm not sure. And Mindtree, Larsen and Toubro, Infotech, all the other companies will be posting their quarter two earnings this week. So they will be fundamental catalysts and be in focus. So try to trade them. So Tech Mahindra has been a little bit weak if you have a look at the daily charts. It has given a halt candle now. We got a shooting star, then two some kind of hanging man candles. So it really doesn't look interesting to me. I like to ignore Tech Mahindra going forward. I'm not really interested in trading because I haven't got a clear movement. So we've got a good expansion. We're getting some contraction. I want to see which side are we going. If we are breaking the lows, maybe below 840 levels, we would like to try to go down to even 810 levels, which is possible. So I like to see what unravels in the coming days before taking a decision. Right now it doesn't look quite attractive to me. Reliance. Yes, Reliance has been in focus because of the future Amazon issue. Amazon has filed a legal suit against Future Retail. I think they are supposed to meet for arbitration in Singapore, and Reliance is a party to that. So it has been on the bearish side for the last few sessions because it is negatively impacted by the news. So what we can do is Reliance can give a very good breakdown. It will be a good buy, I would say, above 22,000, 2270. Above these levels, it can turn out to be a good buy. Otherwise, I would say below today's low, I would say maybe 2220, it can give a good sell also. So you have to remember if Nifty goes down, it has to be driven by HDFC Bank and Reliance. So these are the two players which will be responsible if Nifty goes down. If these players don't go down, Nifty is not going to go down much. So if Nifty starts to fall down, I think Reliance tomorrow will be the reason. So below today's low, we can try to go short. If I look at the internals, I might get a better picture. So you can draw this trend line. If you look at the charts on the 1-day chart, I'll roughly show you the calculations. But you can draw, basically connect these. You can connect these lows and join this trend line. So if this trend line is broken tomorrow, you can try to go short. So 15-minute break below the trend line will suffice. Bajaj Finance and Infosys. Right. So Bajaj Finance will be in focus tomorrow. This is for sure. Whenever the RBI Supreme Court announcements come, this is one stock which is in focus always. So tomorrow you keep it in your watch list. Obviously, it will be a very good short below, yes, you can say 3300 round level. Below 3300, which is a very good. So it's consolidating for quite some time. Below these levels, it can try to show some bearish pressure, which can even drive the stock down to 3000. It's quite possible, not on an intraday basis, but on a positional basis. So we have to see what Bajaj Finance does, whether it breaks out of this consolidated range or it breaks down. A breakout would probably come above 3400 and a breakdown will come below 3300. So use a 15-minute candle closing to understand where you want to go in the market tomorrow. And I think finally we have Infosys by Satyam. Again, IT sector is very strong. Not really interested in Infosys. It's a very good single shot movement. So on the upside, I don't see a lot of juice for me personally, because when I have to buy, I have to select a stop loss. In such a case, I don't know what my stop loss is, because I have no place logical to place a stop loss. So I really don't think I'll be active in info tomorrow. But it totally depends on the earning announcement. It's given a good breakout on the 15-minute time frame. If you look at the 15-minute chart, it's given a good halt inside candle breakout. So obviously, if it opens flat, it's again going to try to go higher. So I really want to see what Nifty IT does. Will Nifty IT take a pullback? Will Nifty IT keep on continuing forward? Because I think it's quite extended now and it's quite becoming a bubble. I don't know when it's going to burst, but it's surely getting too extended. It's gone, all the IT companies, they have exploded in the last couple of sessions. So let's see where things are planned. But Infosys is quite extended for me. Upside, it's difficult, because I can't place a stop loss. If you want to be a buyer on info, you can probably buy with a stop below 1125. That can be a conservative one. If you open flat, obviously the momentum will be continued. So if you break today's high, which is around 1140, we can try to go higher. So let's see where the markets unravel. And finally, I have one more stock before I wind up the meeting, which is VST Industries. So let's just cover this and we'll wind up the meeting. Okay, let's look at the daily charts. And so VST Industries at a very crucial support around 3300 round numbers. So tomorrow you have to see what happens. The level has been tested multiple times. So going below these levels can give you a good downfall. So you have to see if the level is respected. If you get some kind of bullish candle tomorrow, then you can obviously rebound all the way to 3400 also. It's quite possible. But if you start trading below 3300 on a 15-minute, if you start to trade for 15-30 minutes below 3300, then you can see a good selling pressure driving your stock down to 3160 as well as even 33,000 levels. It's quite possible. So let's see where it unravels. So guys, that's it for now. Thank you for watching the video till the end. Please leave a comment, like and subscribe to our channel. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.